You know, when I wrote the book, Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda, I dedicated that to people just like you that are asking this question, because then there's a lot of us that just kind of have that little pinch of guilt that think, oh, I shouldn't have done it that way.
We're just prone to blame ourselves for just about everything. We look back and evaluate and think, boy, I could have done it better, I should have done something more, and then we usually take that and it's internal.
And here's what we've learned a little bit about these folks, and that is that they sometimes feel like it's almost a moral kind of high road to kind of feel like, oh, I've got this very sensitive conscience. And the truth is, guilt will sabotage your love life like few other emotions.
Well, it turns out to be kind of a selfish emotion, not because you're trying to be selfish, but because it keeps you focused on yourself.
Yeah, what it does is eliminate the capacity you have for empathy. And that's the heart of love. You see, when you feel guilty, it's kind of like having a toothache. When you feel guilty, you can't think about anything else about except your guilt or this toothache. Once you kind of remove that ache, then all of a sudden you can focus on other things that you have to do in your life, right? But guilt keeps you from focusing on other people. It's very self-focused.
Yeah, and you can sometimes move into a zone of almost feeling shame more than guilt, which is not just thinking you did something bad, but that you are bad.
It's a really good point, because guilt, we sometimes call it petrified guilt. That guilt that hangs on too long turns into shame, where you really do feel guilty. Not about what you've done, but about who you are. And that's really toxic for a relationship. If you're struggling with this to a high level, I would recommend that you get some outside help. Get a counselor, a mentor that can kind of help you through this process and really begin to live a healthy life that is, you know, free from guilt. This is not the life.
And that doesn't mean that you don't have sorrow when you make a mistake and work to make amends. It means you're not loaded down with this unreasonable guilt.
Right, and then can begin to see beyond your own self-focus. In fact, let me just leave you with this thought. When you get free from guilt, it's like you've taken off some mirrored sunglasses where you've put in the kind of the lenses reversed into those frames, and as a guilt-ridden person, you look out at the world and all you can see are your own needs, right?
The reflection of yourself.
Exactly. Once you get beyond that, all of a sudden you recognize there's other people out there, including your spouse, with needs too.